Hey everybody, it's Doug here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the second episode of our playthrough of Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon tutorial mission, which doesn't spoil the main game or anything like that. And so we're going to get right to it. I don't have anything to correct. We finished day one, where Bior had started to head toward the Whitening to get a piece of star metal that fell from the sky for his master that teaches him smithing. And he has left the village. Now he was in a hunter's grove where he fought a vermin creature, killed it, got some food, then rested up, healed his wounds. Now he's ready to move on. He had a dream there too, but it wasn't too terrible. Now he's going to move on to the Whitening, I think. I think that's what's going to happen. We're going to find out though, because we're going to go into the very next day. So let's take a look at that and see what is going to happen next. Alright, so it says, start of the second day. Perform the start of the day just like you did before. Reduce the men here, dial to 6, and read the next event card. So remember, in this tutorial, the event cards are staged for us, so we're going to be doing that. But the first thing we have to do is, we have to reduce the men here's dial. It is currently at 7, so it's going to go down to 6. He is becoming weaker, or it rather is becoming weaker, and finding it harder to protect the area from the weirdness. So as you can see, now when you're playing the normal game, you just use this card to track it. So we would remove an expired men here, but we didn't have one. And then we reduce all the time on the menier's dial, and then we remove time tokens. We don't have those either. And then we're going to reveal the next event card, which is right here. It says, tired and in pain, you're the final leg of your journey. Hint, sometimes event cards have an additional impact on the game. Remember to apply any rules you find on them. Okay. 9. Entering the Whitening. So we're going to travel right to location 107. Let's do that. We're going to pay 1 energy and move Bior to the Whitening. No new location cards are revealed because that would be too far away from our current men here, and it wouldn't be able to reveal the lands beyond the weirdness there. So, and then we got to go to Whitening. So let's go do that. First thing we do when we move, now remember we had 5 energy because of our dreams, so we're going to go down to 4 right now. It's not great. But anyway, we are going to move over to Whitening. Let's take a look at that card now. We know we're playing the tutorial, so it's going to be a little different, but you can see that it does, if you rest here, it does have a dream sequence. It is a village, but not friendly. I don't know if that means it's hostile, but it's definitely not friendly. And the menhir symbol is here, meaning it's in the influence of a menhir. And then it says draw a blue encounter. I think we're going to end up doing that, but let's take a look and see. I'm going to put that area back. And by the way, just to check out the art on it, you can see that's the Whitening. It's like a mining area or something like that, or a camp of some kind. And it says, once this place had another name and a busy market. Today, no one goes there. Well, except for us, of course. We went there. Bior went there. Now the tutorial says, Whitening has an energy icon or action icon. This is an instant rule you must resolve as soon as you enter the location. The action instructs you to draw a blue encounter. Unlike your previous encounter, this is a diplomatic challenge. And a very inquisitive guard stops you as you enter the location. Place the blue encounter card face up so you have plenty of space on the right-hand side. Great, let's do that. As you know, we do have 4 encounter cards for this tutorial. Here it is. The Suspicious Guard. And again, much like the other, it plays the same way, just with different things that you have to do. And this one has a track, so you'll see how this plays out. So it says, this is the affinity track. If a marker is on top during the affinity check, you win. If it's on the bottom, you lose. Bummer. And then it says start. This is where you start. You put a marker there. We'll do that. Each stage resets the track and has different rules. So we'll take a look at that ourselves. Explain yourself is what it says. Varying bonus each of these symbols. I don't know what that is. Bonus each. Yeah, that bonus right there. You cannot... you connect gives you this. Okay. Which is that symbol right there. Okay. Then we have that response. This will happen after every turn. We'll see how this plays out. Let's go back into that, and we're going to have our encounter. Now, I'm not going to go back to part 10, the first diplomatic turn. I'm going to play it out so we see how it goes. We have to convince this suspicious guard that we're okay and they're on good altruistic reasons. Are we? I don't know. Diplomatic encounters are similar to combat encounters. The main difference is that instead of, let's do this, boom, okay. Instead of gathering points in a combat pool, you will engage in a tug of war on the infinity track, visible on the left edge of the encounter card. Diplomatic encounters also don't have a combat table. Instead, they may have multiple stages. To win, you need to push the marker to the top of the infinity track in each stage. Fortunately, this encounter only has one stage. Prepare 2 help cards. One with the diplomacy overview, which is right here. Nope, sorry, that's the actions overview. Sorry, it's on the other side of this one. There we go. The diplomacy overview. We'll just put that right over here. And the one with the combat and diplomacy icons. That is this gray card right here. Got all those. We're good. Let's put that right there. We'll put these 2 cards beneath it, just so we have them handy. Okay. Then place 1 marker on the gray slot on the infinity track. That's that one right there. I know in the light, I don't know if you can tell, but that is the gray one, and there's a nice arrow pointing to it, so we know we're okay. All right. It is the starting point. Draw 3 cards. Now we're going to draw from our diplomacy deck, which is on the other side of our character. Remember, we're not going to shuffle. We're just going to draw them out and see what we get. Let's see. Okay. We have show off, backtrack, and eye for detail. Let's see what the instructions tell us to do. Play eye for detail card. Only 1 key connects. It has the God, I don't know what that symbol is. Let me look it up. That's why we have these things. Check the effect on the encounter card next to the current stage of the encounter. That's what that means. Okay. Has that symbol on it. So let's see. We're going to get eye for detail. Okay. Has that symbol right there, which we can connect with the guard, I think. It means, we'll see. Symbol, a special diplomacy bonus that varies depending on the encounter card and the stage of the encounter. In this stage, every one of these symbols yields 1 up on the track. This means you move the marker on the infinity track 1 slot up, and then place a time token on the eye for detail card, as it has a delayed ability. Okay, so let's do that. We're going to play this card, just like skadoosh. It doesn't say to move anything yet. It just says that. I guess you do. It doesn't say to move it. I'm going to check. Okay, the ones depending on the kind of stage. This means you move the marker up to track on 1 slot and place a. See, it says draw a card. It has a time token on it. Let me get that out. Okay, here is a time token. So we got that done. And okay, in this stage, every yields this. This means you move the marker up 1 infinity track on the slot. I guess we do that now. We'll see. Then place this on. It's time for the affinity check. The marker is not on the highest or lowest slot of the track, so nothing happens. So then we do our affinity check, just like we do here. And again, delayed abilities, play your cards, enemy responses. Okay. It says the opponent responds. That's the next step. Now we're looking at this thing right here. Right. It says move the marker 1 slot down. Time to end the turn. So we look at this response. This will happen after every turn. So you can see it shows a down arrow, just like this shows an up arrow. So it moves back down to neutral. Well, that's kind of sucks. Discard down to 3 cards in your hand and draw 1 diplomacy card. Well, yeah, so we only have 2 in our hand, right, currently. So we'll draw 2 more out, or 1 more out, rather. So here is our next diplomacy card. It is going to be misdirection. Okay, well, let's see what we have to do now. Okay, the new turn begins as Bior has something to take care of in the delayed ability stage. Okay, so let's take a look at this. We drew our card. This is pick the active character. We already did that because we only have 1. Delayed abilities. Remove 1 time token from each card. Resolve any abilities triggered by the time token's removal. Okay, goosh, we take that away, and that means we resolve that ability. Okay, it says draw 1 card. Remove that from eye for detail and draw another card. So now we have a 4th card, which is going to be Threatening Voice. It's great art on this stuff, I tell you. Okay, play Misdirection as your first card. All right, just going to move this over just a little bit. Misdirection. So this is the Misdirection card. Now we're going to play this right here We're going to see what it does for us. I'm not going to read, I'm just going to read the instructions, okay? It says the bottom connects a 2x multiplier, okay? That makes sense. Getting you 2 increases on the board, because it says 2x up, right? Move the marker on the affinity track 2 slots up, okay? Now we're at the top of the track, if we can get there. We got one more to get to the top of the track. Then play Threatening Voice, your second card. The required item right here is there. It says, and Bjor has. This is really confusing. Hold on. Then play Threatening Voice. Okay, we're just going to follow the instructions. Threatening Voice. Okay, we see that we can play Threatening Voice. We're not going to do this. We're just going to play that on top of it because we have a connection right here in that space, right? So these ones connect. Okay. As your second card. Okay, the required icon is in the bottom key of this card and connects, which is right here. Okay, we got that. The text of this card instructs you to lose 1 rep, but you don't have any, so nothing happens. Also, if the character has at least 2 aggression, I think that's what that is. I think that's aggression. It's hard to tell. The icons are rather small, but we're going to check it out. I believe that one is aggression. Yeah. Okay. And Bjor has. Move the marker 1 slot up on the infinity track. Why does it say that? It says right here, lose 1 rep if you have at least 2 aggression up 1. So that's what we do. It says it right there. And that's what we just did. Okay. Perform an affinity check. The marker is now on the highest slot of the affinity track. This was the last and only stage, which means Bjor wins and earns the reward. Place 1 marker in the reputation slot. Okay, so we won the reward from him, which is reward 1 rep. Failure, we lose 1 rep, but we didn't lose a rep, we just gained 1. Bjor doesn't have a reputation, so that's it. He now has 1 marker. Put the encounter card on the bottom of the blue deck. So we're going to take our encounter card with our suspicious guard, and we're going to put it back with the rest of our encounter cards up above. And okay. Then return all played, drawn, or discarded cards to Bjor's diplomacy deck and shuffle the deck. Okay, so here's the cards he used. We're going to put them back in his diplomacy deck and then give it a shuffle. Right, those aren't all the cards he used. He also had a hand. I'm going to make sure he has those too. All right, so that's diplomacy. It works very similarly to the combat checks. Just got to make sure you match the symbols, etc. Oop, throwing the diplomacy cards all over the table. I don't like diplomacy. I just want to kill stuff, right? Okay, we'll put that back. Now, what do we do next? Put an account, did that. Okay, if you want to play this again, you can do it without spending the energy and the losses like it suggests just to practice. I might do that off camera just so I can get a really good feel for how the game plays out. Okay, and then it says Part 12, Entering Whitening. In Part 1 of the tutorial, Airfear asked Bjor to bring him a meteorite ingot from the Whitening. So it's time to explore this location. Pay 1 energy, but instead of flipping the real Whitening location card, go to an appropriate section of the tutorial exploration journal at the end of the exploration journal book. So we're going to do that. We're going to spend 1 more energy. We're down to 3. Uh-oh, dum-dum-dum-dum. Okay. Okay, the hole is here, as always, gaping at the heart of the Whitening. The white lichen that gave this town its new name seems to grow out of it. It covers the walls of the nearby halls with a thick coat. Only close up one can discover it is, in fact, a layer of small sparkling crystals, like sea salt on the wooden posts of a pier. As you inspect it, several people watch you suspiciously. You shrug your arms to show them you're not interested in their secrets. Go to verse 7. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, here's verse 7. We're just going to, I'll just take this card and put it right here so we don't read it ahead. There's no love lost between Connacht and the Whitening. You shouldn't stay here long. Visit the village tanner. Ask Whitening about the men here. About their men here. Not reading this either. Let's see. I think we're going to take a little time and ask Whitening about the men here. Your questions spur no kindness, so instead of relying on them, you approach the guardian men here to see it for yourself. It looks like the one in your town, but something is off. The sensation you experienced around Connacht's monument, an indescribable feeling that the world is suddenly more in focus, is gone. So the rumors were true. Whitening's menhir is now dead. A dead piece of stone. Gain 1 health, right? Yep, that's health, I believe. Let's take a look at our chart here, just to be sure. What is that symbol? No, gain 1 terror and 1 experience. Go to verse 7 and make another choice. Okay, let's do that. Ooh, yuck. We actually gained a terror, but we also gained an experience point. That is awesome. We're getting some stuff. That's pretty cool. Then we're going to go back and we're going to do what we were originally asked to do. But I thought that was worth doing. Okay, now we're going to go to verse 9. That's what it says. Visit the village tanner. Go to verse 9. Okay. You ask around about the tanner Airfare wanted you to find, and draw some strange looks. Finally, someone tells you this man moved out several months ago. Angry and confused, you reach the tannery, only to find the building abandoned and covered in cobwebs. What's going on? Was this a cruel joke? Gain 1 terror and gain part 2 of the surprise ending. Well, okay, we'll do that. We'll just take our part 2 there again, and we'll cross that out. And apparently it's frightened us because something weird's going on, right? So it says, gain a point of terror, then mark the second part of the status of the tutorial sheet and continue to the scenario. Go to part 13, your way back. Bummer, and we now have 2 terror. That kind of bites. Terror is obviously not a good thing. But we're going to go to back to our way back thing and start heading home. I'm going to put the reference cards away, and we're going to get right back to it. Okay, part 13. You have to go back to Kunokt fast. Travel to Hunter's Grove as before. Perform a travel action, pay 1 energy, and move Bjor to location 102. Bjor only has 2 energy left, just like the day before, but this time Bjor wants to travel as fast as possible, even at the cost of exerting himself. Perform another travel, pay 1, and move to location 101. Bjor is now back in his homestead, exhausted. Take a look at Bjor's negative trait listed on his character tile. According to its rules, Bjor loses 1 health. Let's take a look at that. So we spend an energy to move, which means we're going to take Bjor and head back to Hunter's Grove. And then we're going to spend another energy, which will bring him down to the red, which means he's exhausted, but he's made it back to Kunokt. And here he is traveling back to Kunokt and his menhir. So we'll continue reading. Now, actually, we got to take care of his effect. He has this festering wound effect, says lose 1 health every time you become exhausted. So we're going to go down to 8 again. And that is going to be that. Now we'll continue on. Tired and in pain, Bjor is ready to conclude his journey. Pay 1 energy to explore Kunokt. As before, go directly to the tutorial exploration journal. Okay. Important. While this tutorial gives players a general grasp of the game, there are many additional rules it does not cover, such as parties and party actions, event cards, chapter setup, legacy locations, encounter traits, and so on. Before playing the full campaign, we encourage you to read the book at least once. Okay, fair enough. Well, I'll do that anyway. But we're going to explore Kunokt. Based on what I see, it says lose 1 time every time you become exhausted. I guess we're already exhausted. So if I go down to 0, would I lose another 1, or do I just lose 1 for becoming exhausted? It doesn't say to take 1 away. You've got to leave it alone. It just says tired and in pain, pay 1 to explore Kunokt. So we're going to do that. Okay. So we explore Kunokt. We're going to go back to the tutorial sheet. By the way, I found the tutorial events right there. Okay, so we're going back to Kunokt. So I'm going to flip this over. We're going to head back to Kunokt Farmhold. Now remember, we have these choices we're going to make. It says speak with your master only if you don't have part of the surprising errand. So we do complete your mission requires part 2 of the surprising errand status, which we have. So we're going to go to verse 2, which is over here. You enter Kunokt exhausted and in pain. Yet even in this condition, you quickly realize something happened in your absence. Many sad-eyed townsfolk walk the streets or argue in small groups. Startled, you look toward the menhir. But it seems fine, surrounded by ribbons flapping in the wind. There's no weirdness in Kunokt, so what could draw all of these people out of their houses? As you approach the forge, you almost stumble upon the boy who usually delivered Airfare's messages. They're gone, the boy tells you. They left at the break of day. Airfare wants you to take care of his workshop. You stumble into the building only to find it empty, save for a note lying on the workbench. held securely in place by a heavy ingot of star iron. 3 times you attempt to read the parchment, your eyes watering from helpless rage. It says, Airfear left Connacht without you, traveling with Lord Yvain, Fail Albert, and Niante. They head for Camelot, where they hope to find help for your town. You were deemed too weak for this journey, not good enough. As silent rage grows within you, gone are the exhaustion and that's a weird statement. Gone are the exhaustion and pain. You leave the forge and look to the east. Somewhere there, behind the rolling mists, clouds of weirdness, and dangerous trails, the Connacht champions journey on. You sure you will find them. Each party member gains 1 terror. Okay, that's great. So we gain a terror. We're up to 3 now. I don't know what that's going to do for us in this scenario. Probably nothing. I think that's the end of the storyline for us. Congratulations, you have finished the tutorial scenario. You will find Airfear's letter in the game box. It will prepare you for the first chapter of the Fall of Avalon campaign. Good luck in the bleak world of Tainted Grail. So guys, that's basically it. We've completed the tutorial mission, and we would go on to the next mission. But we're going to wait. We're not going to do that quite yet. I just wanted to get through this tutorial with you and let you experience that so you can see that there's quite a bit of storytelling going on in the game. It's pretty neat. I'm super excited to get to dive into it further, and we will very soon, but not at the moment. So as we prepare to do that, though, please like, share, and subscribe. And you know what else you're going to see? There's going to be another video for Tainted Grail, but it's not going to be for the board game. I got a alpha invite to the video game spin-off. I wouldn't call it a direct version of it. It does have differences, but it does feel very similar. And I'm going to be playing that on the channel. It doesn't spoil any of the story, so that'll be interesting to see how that goes. But in the meantime, guys, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Really helps, and I will talk to you in the next video. Take care. Talk to you soon.